Good morning, folks. Here we are out at the forge again. Just got to make a little quick video. It's been a while since I uploaded because I just came back from vacation. Went down to the coast and caught a lot of fish. But unfortunately, later today I have to go back to the doctor for a checkup. I think maybe my cancer's back. So we're going to go see what we can do about that. But in the meantime, I'm going to do a little short video. A couple months ago, the rear end differential went out on my truck. I replaced that. And one of the leftover parts I've got is this inner bearing race. Now, I usually don't work with junk steel at all, or anything that's not a purpose-made blade steel. But these bearing races are 52-100, very good blade steel. If there's not a stress crack in it, it should make a good knife. It's an odd shape in that it's thicker on this side than this side. As you can see, it's got a taper. So we're going to have to try to work around that. Let's see if we can't make, a small Puko blade or something like that out of it. Let's get it hot and smack it a few times. Okay, we're going to start out by splitting this bearing, and I'm going to try to do everything with hand tools, so we're going to do it with a chisel. Just using the horn of the anvil. I don't want to cut quite all the way through. It's drop forged already. Didn't get through that first heat, so we'll go a second heat. That's pretty close. I believe that's close enough. Get it warm again. And we'll just tap it apart. And start straightening the bearing out. If you're hearing odd noises in the background while I'm doing this, it's because I have two dogs running around. One of them has a squeaky toy. And what I'm working on right now is just trying to get this bearing race straightened out. So I've got some good stock to work with. And because of the way it's shaped, it kind of wants to spiral in on itself, so I'm having to fight that, but so far so good. There we go, getting pretty close, Oh, almost dropped it again. Just keep working it out. It's pretty close to good. Now this bearing is thicker on one side than the other, so it's going to be interesting to forge, but I think we can work it out. Now, you notice that I'm forging here from a square corner. I usually round my corners, and that's why I have a fish lip or a cold shut forming on the end. So the easiest thing to do in that case is just get out your hardy cutter and nip the end off at an angle. Get rid of the hardy cutter and work your tip in. Need a little more angle on it. I believe that's going to do. You got to be careful with this 52-100. Don't want to overheat it, don't want to underheat it. And this anvil's very cold, so it's a little tough keeping enough heat to work. What I'm doing here is setting down what's going to be the transition from the blade to the tang, just so I've got a starting point to work from. I dropped it again. And knock a little backwards curve in it. It's probably too much, more than I need, so I'll keep the edge thick so I can correct my profile after I've got my bevels sort of hammered in. I want to leave this steel thick along the edge so I can shape my profile, and also because I'm not really fond of working this stuff. I've had mixed luck with 52-100 in the past. But we're going to work the bevel in now, and you can see how fast that's losing heat. The camera really doesn't show, but that's losing heat really fast, so it's going to take a lot of heats to work this bevel out. As I said, don't want to work it too cold. Just going to keep working that bevel. It's getting pretty close. Now we'll start straightening it out and refining the profile. And it's really sort of giving me a fit because I'm not used to working with steel that's thicker on one edge than the other. So I left myself some room for error. That's getting just about the profile I want. My bevels are still good. I can thin them out a little bit with a grinder. Now let's work on that tang. The first thing we're going to do is get out our Hardy cutter again. And I'm going to nip off the excess on an angle. And there's probably enough excess to forge another small blade. Now I'm going to start on the cut end and forge it down to a point. Tapered in all 4 directions. And that gives me a point to forge my tang out to. And this for me is often the trickiest part, to make sure that I don't booger the heel of the blade too much. Now this tang should taper both in thickness and in width. Should be thinner than the blade in all dimensions. I need to work it out to 3-ish, 4 inches, something in that range. This blade doesn't have to be a stick tang. It doesn't have to go all the way through the handle. I can drill it and put a pin in it, secure it with epoxy, and it'll stay in a handle for as long as the handle material lasts. Just refine that profile a bit. Get the right taper on the tang. Make sure everything's straight. It's looking pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and normalize this blade. And I think I'll go ahead and harden it before the video is over. To do our normalization, I'm just going to lay a fire brick up here. I'm going to lay the blade down. The blade's been heated past magnetic. It's been sort of a bright orange. I'm going to lay it down, let it cool to black. I'm not quite as hot as I was the first time on this cycle. Lay it down and let it air cool to black. And for our third cycle, I'm actually just right at a good red color. The camera doesn't show the colors right. Good red, let it air cool to black. And that's going to refine our grain structure in the steel, make it much stronger, much better. And there she is. It's been hardened. Skates a file just fine. And with this file, it tells me it's better than 55 Rockwell, which is plenty good enough. Okay, well, we got it done. Here she is. Now, I cleaned it up just enough on the belt grinder to make sure that I don't have any cracks in the blade, because I have had some failures on 52-100 before. But that looks good. It's going to make a nice little blade, probably 3 inches long. I'll probably put a little brass bolster or finger guard here, and I don't know, antler or wooden handle. It's going to be a nice little cutter. Anyway, I did make a mistake. I actually heat treated this blade, or quenched this blade, and I should have went ahead and annealed it and then done the grinding, you know, and then done the quench, because it would have made grinding this tang to fit a lot easier. But I didn't, so I'm going to work around it. Thank y'all for watching. It's very much appreciated. Leave us a comment in the comment section. God bless and have a great day.